Trice Hughes Chevrolet. Another dreary Friday morning, Dennis. I believe we bring in the worst of weather on Fridays.
We might, but like you said when we both got out of the car, they're all beautiful now.
They sure are.
For us.
And, you know, anytime we can get up in the morning, our feet hit the ground, we're running. And
Well, we're up moving.
we're up moving. But this was a good morning to kind of sleep in. What an exciting time of the year. You know, we were talking earlier, today's a big day at Caldwell County High School as the seniors are making their final walk and they have awards day. And, you know, we're kind of, you know, limited on our interviews here, but we're going to make the best of it. And we've got Bradley Stallings coming into the studio here in a few minutes. But we've been busy ourselves this week.
Yeah, you've been carrying me around all over the place.
I don't know about that. DT and I have participated in a couple of golf tournaments for charities, and you know, we went down on Monday to Paducah Country Club and played in the Fellowship of Christian Athletes tournament there. Rodney Bushong, my brother-in-law, and who is big in the FCA chapter there in Paducah, invited Dennis and I down, and along with his nephew, Cameron Brown, we participated in that tournament there and had a good time.
Real good time. And I do want the people in Princeton to know that they haven't closed it down because we went. we did participate, and we were really acted well. We did a good job.
It was a beautiful golf course and a beautiful day to play. One of the best days last Monday. You know, the weather was just perfect, and they had 21 teams participate over there. We got to see a bunch of our old buddies, a lot of our coaching friends, and we ran into Coach Joe Morse at Mayfield High School, and we also got to hear from Coach Steve Duncan, the new football coach at Paducah Tillman. He gave his testimony at the awards banquet after the tournament was over and did a very good job. And, you know, it was interesting to hear his. But Eric Grogan is the person in charge of the FCA there in Paducah, and he's just done a great job of growing that. And, you know, they're looking at expanding it here in Western Kentucky. Right now they're looking to hire someone to cover Caldwell County, Lyon County, Christian County, and Trigg County, and they're hoping to have somebody here by, you know, early summer or early fall.
Right. I also like to say Rodney Bushong, your brother-in-law, did a great job with it too.
He did. He raised a lot of money. So it was amazing to hear at the banquet how much money they have raised over the years, and some of the great speakers that they have coming in. I know a few years ago they had Bobby Bowden, the head football coach at Florida State University, come in and speak at the banquet in the fall, and it was attended by Caldwell County football, you know, a lot of their football players and all, and Bobby spent the night with Rodney.
Right. He's pretty big in that business.
And then they had Mike Matheny, the manager for the St. Louis Cardinals, here a couple years ago, and Les Steckel, I think they had last year. And this year they got coming Clark Kellogg, who is on CBS, you know, for the NCAA basketball tournaments and stuff. And it's really growing here in Western Kentucky, and it's a really good thing.
Right. And the tournament was wonderful. They did a great job with it. The course was set up really nice. It's too nice for you and I, no offense, but
we got our walking in that day anyway.
Yeah, they wouldn't let you put the carts on the course, so every time we'd try to tee off, we can't hit it where we want, but we always try to hit it toward the cart path because they didn't play our ball anyway. So.
That's exactly right. And we ran into one of our listeners from down there in Paducah.
Yes, we did. You're right.
Bobby McAllister, who was a longtime assistant football coach at Reedland High School and at Heath, and I think he coached all of them. He said he tunes in and listens to us every Friday morning, so we want to give a shout-out to Bobby.
That's right.
On Wednesday, we were also able to attend another golf tournament over in Hopkinsville by the person that owns this radio station invited us over, Joe McEnany, and we played in the Chamber Commerce Tournament there in Hopkinsville Country Club, another beautiful golf course.
It was in great shape and had a good time. Hoptown Country Club's been around a long time. We always enjoy going over there playing. Saw a bunch of our buddies from over there too. Old Clayton was
Clayton
there
was there again. Craig's at every event I think we go to.
He's back in Hoptown, and I think he's going to try to do. He's ended up getting his coaching staff. I think he has Curtis Pulley even helping him now, doesn't he?
Yeah, he sure does. Yeah,
He played
Curtis
quarterback
Higgins,
for him, and
right.
Curtis Higgins, and a few more. But we'll have him back on in the fall and let him explain all of his roadies that he's got going over there. And he'll do a good job. I don't know if he's a year away or so, but he said they have a lot of young players that are ready to go. So.
And we wound up doing a little bit better than we thought we were. I think we tied for second or third place. We left before they started giving out the team prizes and so forth, but we had a good time. Joe McEnany and David Sullinger, yourself, and me, we put together not a real good team, but we came up and played better than we thought we would.
Well, we did, and that's a 2-day tournament, so I think all the good teams played Tuesday.
Yeah, I believe so. But we had a great time, and their course is in great shape. Hoptown Country Club has a beautiful place. And,
well, they went through the thing we've gone through for a while, too. They had Novadale, shut down, and they gave them a great deal, and they got about 60 new members, and that made a big difference over there for them to keep it on now. Whether they'll all stay or not when they give them their real bill here at the end of this year, I don't know, but I hope they do. It's in great shape.
It was, and we've had a good time. We're a little bit tired and sore, but we're right back here at it. And, we've kind of had to throw this show together today. Yeah. And I know we're, stretched for time restraints, especially Bradley being here in the studio. And I think we have a caller on the line that – Not yet. No. Okay, we got someone's going to call in. I got
a couple shout-outs myself. You had one earlier.
Go ahead, yeah.
We were at the Derby party last weekend across the street from my house, and I even had Carla Martin and Amy Ladd said that they listen to us religiously and they enjoy the show. And I was kind of made fun of them. I said, I know better than that. And Carla looked at me and she said, do I lie? She said, I'm either going to tell you I like it or I don't. And honestly, I believe they do listen. And I guess they have a good time listening to us, but we appreciate them. And the other one is Ty Engelbright. Right. Somebody who's taken this job over, and we're so proud of him for doing that. I listen to it every time I get in my truck. He has a great radio voice. He's been involved with it for a long time. Even Willie Brown tells me that he was back in the day. They had a big time doing this. But this is your passion, Ty, and we appreciate you being here and taking this over.
Guys, I appreciate that.
You're more than welcome. We enjoy it when we come in. We enjoyed Jordan.
We do enjoy Jordan too.
Jordan is the man, but I'm
he had a lot on his plate there for a long time.
We're sure
we're
glad.
a team here.
That's exactly right.
And so yes, and we got a great team, and so I'm looking forward to this team doing it. And thank you all for your kind words.
You're welcome.
You're more than welcome. Well, we've got a lot going on. This is an exciting time of this year, and of course. The spring sports seasons are nearing the end, and we've got a very special guest with us here in the studio, and we're going to take a short break here and come back and interview Coach Bradley Stallings. You're listening to Tiger Sports Talk on 103.3 FM, The Tiger.
You already knew that Trice Hughes in Princeton has the #1 service department in Western Kentucky, but did you know that when it's time for a new set of tires, we have you covered for that also? Our tire experts, Jeff Brandon, Garrett Harper, and Kathy Capps, have a combined 84 years of experience, and they are ready to serve you on any make and model vehicle. You'll be surprised at our competitive pricing on name brands such as BF Goodrich, Michelin, Goodyear, Yokohama, Cooper, and Uniroyal. Trice Hughes is also the only tire dealer in town to offer the economy price Kenda brand tire. All tires are road force balanced, providing you with the most comfortable ride possible, and rotations are free as long as you own your tires. Call the tire experts at Trice Hughes today. Quotes are free and the deals are worth the call. Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton.
103.3 FM. We now have with us in the studio the head baseball coach at the Caldwell County Tigers, Coach Bradley Stallings. Welcome to the show once again, Bradley.
Thanks, Coach.
What a weekend, last weekend. Of course, it was a Derby weekend, and it was really full of baseball as well. You went up to Lexington and played 3 exciting baseball games and just came up on the short end of having a state championship.
It was a great run. It was good to see those kids compete at that level. All weekend I think we overcame adversity. Every game we played, all 3 games in Lexington went into extra innings. Our kids battled back, and in every game. I hope that the people that were able to watch and listen on the radio, thanks to this station, were able to enjoy the games, but also be proud of the young men that represented this community and really represented Western Kentucky. And I thought they did that in a really good fashion. So I was very proud of our team. Like you said, Lexington was a little wild last weekend. You had Derby weekend, and I think they opened up Keeneland. I think they were expecting about 20 to 30,000 people there at the racetrack, and then it was UK's graduation. So on top of that, Lexington was pretty hopping last week.
I don't see how you found a place to stay.
It was touch and go there for a minute. It really was.
And we were able to view it in just an outstanding job by Jordan and Bob Hayes. I watched them on my TV, both games on Sunday. And, of course, you had to get up pretty early Sunday morning and start playing. But talk a little bit about your pitching. I tell you, we've got a very strong pitching staff, and I'm going to go out and make a bold prediction.
Oh, Lord. There you
go.
You're done now. You're out.
With the depth of our pitching staff, I feel like we're going to really make a great run at a regional championship and possibly be right back up there.
That's these kids' goals. And, after it was over Sunday afternoon, I looked at them and I said, guys, there's nothing to hang your head about. And I asked every one of them, I said, how many of you want to get back here in June? And, every one of them raised their hand. And, that's kind of the reason why I was glad that we went up there. It was kind of to whet their appetite a little bit, so to speak, to want to go back in June. And, there's 12 or 13 other teams in this region that want to make that trip too. So it's going to be exciting. But, yes, our pitching staff is throwing really, really well. That last weekend kind of stretched us thin.
Right.
We came back and then we played McCracken on Monday, one of the top 5 teams in the state. And, we pitched 2 very, very young kids that hadn't this was their first varsity experience, and they did a very good job for us too against probably one of the better teams we played all year. So, it really stretched us thin, but at the same time, it was a great experience.
Was the weather a big factor? I know Saturday it was really cool.
It was cold. Saturday we got ready to play. I think we played at noon up there and 11 o'clock here. And there at the stadium, they've got a temperature gauge. Right. And it was 40 degrees. And I looked at Dylan Gray about the third inning. And I said, wow, Dylan, look at their heat wave. And I think he started laughing. It was 42. By the end of the game, the sun had came out, and it had popped, I think, about 50 degrees. But, Sunday wasn't bad. It was just
It was a beautiful day.
It was.
Sunshine
it really was.
And all. And let's talk a little bit about the fan support that we got up there. You could hear watching it and listening, via stream, the fans in the background, and sound like we had probably one of the better crowds up there.
We really did. And, looking at the teams that were there, we had the farthest of anybody to get there. And you and Coach Tomic and other coaches, y'all taught us this when we were little, and we didn't really, young, and we really didn't pay a whole lot of attention. But as you get older, you really do. And, Caldwell County supports its kids. They support their kids. They get behind their kids. They love their kids. They may tell us when we do wrong, but they still love our kids. And it shows in times like that. It also shows when we come back home. And I don't think I've met anybody in town or in school that hadn't said they either listened to it or watched it on the radio. And, as a Caldwell County and as myself, that means a lot. And it really does. And to see the people get behind our kids and support them like they do, it's really mind-blowing as an adult to see the outpouring of care that we have for our children.
Well, and a lot of times, as you coach, we coach too, and your parents might get on you a little bit every now and then about treating their kid this and that and the other. But, if they're not going to take care of their own kids, who's going to take care of them?
Right.
And then once they do that, then you feel like that's your child too, and you're going to take care of every one of them you got, and because that's just the way it goes. And of course, getting back into that, the support you got up there, we lost a couple supports, and then you lost a support, and then I was just wondering, because I coached you. And I was so glad.
Lost the umpire up there somewhere.
I was so glad to hear that you were still in the game.
Yeah.
Because I thought, you
I don't know if I'd have lasted.
He might have thrown that Tasmanian devil that he had in him a long time ago. But that was a great win. I mean, we should have won the ball game. There's no doubt about it.
I think we probably should have too. And it is what it is.
That's
and
right.
I told our kids, I said, You can look at this in one or two ways. You can either get mad and say, we shoulda, coulda, woulda, and because of this or that, or you can do kind of what you all told us to do. I can't use the words online, but you can get mad about
No,
it.
we didn't tell you. I didn't
You can
say
get
that.
mad about it. And you can do something about it, or one or the other. And you can fix it if you get a chance to fix it. And these kids, I know that's what they're going to do.
And the good thing about it is you have a chance.
Right.
Because you can still play, again here.
Exactly.
In the same year.
Exactly. It was trying. There were some contentious situations there, but I was proud of the way our boys just kept battling and battling because you're laughing, but you all know me as well as anybody. I don't know that I could have battled back. I'd have been so mad. I'd have probably been.
Right. We'd have to set you down.
Yeah, you probably would have.
Yes, being competitive.
That's right. And I was very proud of the way our kids, kept a level head. For the most part, they really, really did. And it showed. I think it showed in the results.
Well, Bradley, we got a calling guest on the line with us, and he's no stranger to Caldwell County. We had him on a few weeks ago, Coach Luther Bramlett. He's coming fresh off of a conference championship in his first year for Midway University Eagles. Welcome once again, Luther, and tell us how you did it.
I didn't do much. I just kind of hung out in the dugout and watched.
You filled out the lineup card.
I tell you what, it was a full team effort. Not expected, but it was definitely a fun run. Guarantee you that.
That's probably because of Gator and myself. When we talked,
I think we might have brought you some good luck here.
That's why I'm calling back in to get some of that love.
There you go. We got one of your lovers here with you too. He's gonna talk to you in a minute.
Hey, Luther, tell us the format of the conference tournament. Who you opened up with? How something about some of your games that you played in that conference championship before you got.
Well, it was a tale of two teams. To be honest with you, we lost 11 of our last 13 games.
Oh.
Going into the tournament. And
sometimes that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Not real high expectations.
I preached all year, stay with the process. We need to be playing our best baseball at the end of the year. And them hard heads listen to me, I guess. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. But we opened up with the 3 seed Rio Grande University out of Ohio, and we 10-runned them, beat them bad, which kind of set the tone for the tournament. We played the number 21 team in the country, Indiana University Southeast, in game 2 and beat them 16-11. We really swung the bats well. Scored 29 runs in the first 2 games of the tournament, and we were playing a double elimination 16 bracket, the NAI bracket, which is a crazy bracket, because after winning that game, we had to wait for the number 1 seed in the tournament because they lost, and the number 2, Indiana Southeast, to play again, and we had to play IU Southeast again, and we beat them in a 1-run game, 4-3, to get to the championship series. And we ended up playing West Virginia Tech, lost the first game 4-1. And I made them switch dugouts. I got back in my comfort zone over there in the third base dugout in between games, and we beat them, I think, 9-7 in the championship game. So, crazy run.
Coach, this is Bradley, and I'd just like to say thank you. I talked to you a little bit earlier, but listening to you talk about that, it kind of reminds me of the 2000 team we had at Campbellsville a little bit. It was a little reversed. I think we went on a roll there at the end, but we had a rough start too. So, you're no stranger to that. And, it's funny, we talk about it a lot in the summer when we're together, how baseball works like that. And you've seen it a lot more than I have. But, talk a little bit about or what you saw that made the difference that allowed your kids to make that run in such a short amount of time there in the conference championship when it's really on the line.
I think it really came down to a belief in each other. They finally bought into the team concept, and we need to do this together. And I heard a lot out of the dugout, get it to the next guy, get it to the next guy, get it to the next guy when we were hitting, taking that process. And our pitchers competed. They pounded the zone with strikes. They let our defense make plays. I mean, it was just a total team effort. So I think the big thing was they just bought into themselves, into their brothers, and to playing for each other. And I think that's where that was the deciding factor. They wanted to make a statement that that we deserve respect, and they didn't feel like that people in the conference gave us that. So
Good deal.
That's basically what it was.
Luther, this DT, you made a good point. I back when I played so long ago that they didn't have sports, but the best I ever played, I think, was when I didn't care what the other guy did. You know, if somebody messed up, they didn't mess up. You were going to be next. So I think when I bought in to playing sports with just do the best I could do and not worry about somebody else, I believe that's the key for any coach maybe to teach his kids if they can.
Well, at the end of the day, sports is about relationships, and it's about character. And when you have teams that buy into the relationship aspect of it and buy into the team, winning usually takes care of itself because they care more about each other and playing for their team and their brothers and what's across their chest instead of what's on the back of their chest. So
it'll work itself out if they'll all believe that.
No question.
Well, Luther, tell us where it's on to now. Where do you advance to? When will you be playing? And if you've got any updates for us there, tell us about it. The live select show was yesterday afternoon. We were selected to play in the Lima, Ohio bracket, which is hosted by University of Northwest Ohio. It's a 5-team double elimination bracket. We are the 5 seed. We play Mid-American Nazarene out of Kansas in the first game. And if we happen to win that game, then we'll play the number 1 seed Northwest Ohio team later on that day. The other 2 teams, the 2 and 3 seeds, are Middle Georgia State University, who won the Faulkner Conference. Faulkner's one of the top teams in the country. That the Middle Georgia team won that league, and the other team is let me think here. Hope International out of California. Man, they're from all over the country.
Yes. And if we are fortunate enough and lucky enough to continue playing like we're playing, and win that thing, then we'll be going to the NAI World Series out in Lewiston, Idaho.
Now, what days do you play next week? Or
we play at 9 a.m. on Monday morning. It'll be 8 a.m. your time.
And the people here in Princeton can follow you on Twitter or on your website?
They can follow us on Twitter or go to our school website. They'll have all the links to the live video feed and all that good stuff.
Well, that sounds great. And, once again, we want to congratulate you. We're very proud of you, Luther, and, having 2 young men that's come through the program here at Caldwell County is very satisfying for us and the community, and I know everyone wants to keep up with you, and we want to wish you the best of luck next week.
Yeah.
I appreciate the support.
Coach,
I really do. I hate that I missed you playing, Bradley. I was thinking, man, we're going to go up to that tournament and lose a couple games, and I'll get back and get to go watch All A Classic, see my boys play.
Well, you know what? Our kids, this is a funny story. Coach Thomas, you'd love this. I called Lou when we were up at the state tournament last year, and I said, man, you care if you come say something to the boys, before the game? We played later on that afternoon. She said, sure, I'll be up there. What time you need me? So I said, I don't know. We're going to eat breakfast about 8, 9 o'clock in the hotel. So he said, sure. So he got there, and our kids still laugh about this. I don't know exactly what all he made them do, but he made them lay down, move the tables, and breathe and all this. And you're referred to around here as the hippie coach. Had them breathe in and out and imagining.
Hey, you had to go wake them up.
Hey, had to wake them up. But, Coach, you know how I feel about you. I love you, and, we're pulling for you. And hope you stay up there for a while and kick some tail and see you out in Idaho. So we love you, and we're pulling for you from back here. So
hey,
love
Luther.
you too, man. And hope I see you in Lexington again.
Hope so too.
Luther, if you win that tournament next week, now you're gonna have to call in again.
You know that, I'll be calling in.
Okay. Well, you contact us and let us know how you're doing, and we once again want to wish you the best of luck and thank you for calling in.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me again, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks, Coach.
That's Luther Bramlett, the head baseball coach at Midway University, and talking about his team championship in this conference tournament. You're listening to Tiger Sports Talk on 103.3 FM. We'll be right back after these messages from our sponsor.
What does your service appointment at Trice Hughes do? Glad you asked. Here at Trice Hughes, we give a true 27-point inspection with each vehicle service. We change your oil, check fluids in your transmission, coolant system, power steering, washing fluid, and brakes. Then we inspect your tires, wiper blades, brakes, air filter, belts, hoses, drive boots, and exhaust system. Shoo, that's a lot. Keeping your vehicle maintained at Trice Hughes in Princeton is your best chance of a long and happy vehicle life. Call today for your appointment, 270-365-5522, Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton. So you're sitting at home, relaxing after a hard day at work. You would like to shop for a vehicle, but simply didn't have the time today. Well, thanks to modern technology and your friends at Trice Hughes, you can pick out the perfect vehicle, get an estimated trade-in value, and even submit a credit application from the comfort of your living room. Visit TriceHughes.com, and in just a few short minutes, you could be on your way to a new car, truck, or SUV. Trice Hughes Incorporated makes it simple to shop from the comfort of your own home. That's TriceHughes.com, Highway 91 North in Princeton. Trice Hughes in Princeton wants to remind everyone that we have a full line of genuine GM and Mopar parts and accessories for your car, truck, or SUV. We also offer Retrax bed covers. You have to see to believe how awesome they are. WeatherTech floor mats are a must for folks with little people and moms and dads that want to keep their entire carpet protected. Make your truck or SUV stand out with chrome accessories such as 20-inch wheels and tires, running boards, mirror covers, and door handles. Need a gift idea? Adding remote start will surely please your loved one. Call Shauna today for all your accessory needs. 270-365-5522. Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton.
Back here at Tiger Sports Talk at 103.3 FM, the Tiger with Gator and DT. We have with us in the studio Coach Bradley Stallings. We want to thank Luther Bramlett once again for calling in and talking about his conference championship. And Bradley, we'll get back to a little bit more baseball as we enter to the last week of the regular season, I believe. And,
right.
It seems like that maybe you got your pitching staff back in rotation now after the run you had last weekend. And I know you had some exciting games this week and some that you probably don't want to talk about, but some that you do. We beat a county rival down here yesterday.
Right.
And tell us a little bit about the games this week.
This week, we ended up having to play McCracken, as we talked about earlier, and we were kind of looking forward to that game. I mean, it's two pretty good teams, we thought, and it ended up being a situation where, we were throwing some arms that hadn't seen a lot of varsity action. But like I said earlier, they did a very good job. Then we come home against Union County on Tuesday, and we started out really, really well, but you could kind of tell that the emotional drain, the physical drain, and the mental drain kind of caught up to us, and we made some mistakes that we probably hadn't made all year, and Union took advantage of it, and like a good team should, and they beat us. And Wednesday, after the game Tuesday, I told them, I said, go home, go fishing, do something, go buy your mama something for Mother's Day, but don't even pick up a baseball bat on Wednesday. Don't pick up a bat or a ball. Just get away from the sport for a day and go out with your buddies, do something, but get away from it and come back, Thursday, and we'll take a little BP before the game and be ready to go. And they did, and yesterday we started out hitting the ball really, really well. And, Gabe East pitched another good game for us on 4 days rest. And, Shane, if we play today, Shane's going to have to pitch on 4 days rest. So, we're still kind of reeling a little bit, but not like we are. So we're getting back on track. Next week, we've talked about it earlier. I think the last time I was in there, I've never seen a spring like this with as many rainouts as we've had. So we're going to be pushing to get our district games in. They have to be in by Wednesday to seed the district, and or if you don't play it, both teams take a win and a loss on the record. So, they have to be in by Wednesday, and I think we're going to try to make up that Madisonville game on Tuesday. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it doesn't rain that day, which I think the forecast looks good for next week, I think, from what I've seen. So, we've never had a spring. I think we're 13 or 14 rainouts already.
Two district games.
We've got one supposed to play Hopkins Central today at Central, and then next week we're supposed to play Madisonville on Tuesday. That was supposed to be a home game against Lyon County, and that's not really a game we want to lose. That's a friendly rival. It takes 10 minutes to get here from one place or another, and they've got a really, really good ball team this year. So that's not really a game we were really wanting to lose, but it just was one of those situations. I think Madisonville graduates on Wednesday, so they had to hurry up and get it in as well. So. We're right up against it, so to speak. So,
I pulled out there and watched you play Union County.
Uh-huh.
I started to holler at you once, but I didn't want to. I parked right over there by the dugout.
I think I saw you and Frank the Tank over there talking a little bit.
Talking to me. Yeah, we were analyzing the ball game. I tell you what, I shouldn't say this on the air right now. Don't guess, but because we don't know how we're going to get it taken care of. But Bob and Jordan and them do a great job to sit on the front seat of bleachers, passing by them all the time.
Right.
I don't know what kind of money it would take for us to get some kind
press
of
box.
Press box,
Yeah.
but man, that's a pretty tough job. I kept looking. I said, "Where's the noise coming from?"
Hey, and if there's lightning or rain in there, they have to discontinue the.
Boy,
the
they
broadcast.
did a great job sitting there. I mean, and honestly, if you're eye level and the umpire and the catcher's up there, there's no way you can tell whether the ball's strike or what it is. But
So are we making a sales pitch to build a
I'm asking you to buy the press box. I want Rydell to furnish the press box.
I wish we could.
All right, Bob, you heard that.
No, they do an excellent job. Jordan and Mr. Hayes, they do an unbelievable job. Mr. Hayes, he's such a baseball guy. He loves the sport, and
really?
he loves it. And I obviously don't get a chance to hear it a lot. I go back and watch a few plays, I guess you'd say, online and listen to some commentating.
But the other thing, real quick too, is if Mr. Hayes, Bob Hayes, says that the umpires weren't very good, they weren't very good because he doesn't say anything bad about anybody.
No.
Anytime.
And Bob umpires
forever.
for years.
Yes.
And he kind of let it go Sunday.
Yeah.
And I'll
and he
ask
singled
Mr. Hayes.
out one umpire in particular, which we really didn't. If we were watching, we knew he was behind the plate that first game on Sunday morning, and he was at first base on Sunday afternoon for the championship. But, my whole point was that being a state final in Class A, seemed like they could have got a better umpire than that one was out there. I mean,
don't say it. He'll be the next one. He'll be at the next one, too.
When you got two teams competing for a championship like that, and he just seemed like he was out of position on most of his calls, and the pickoff, when he rounded the base, and I think it was Shane that tagged him. He was clearly out. And I don't believe he saw it. And the first thing he saw.
Don't make any comments.
I'm not.
No, somebody be listening.
I'm not. And the thing of it is, a lot like coaching. Y'all know how it is. Umpire is kind of a thankless job too. A lot of times, and when you get into that, there's so many bang plays. It happens so many places, and football. Football's so much right there in front of you, and then the crowd's away from you, and you can kind of make or not make. Y'all taught us. You can make a holding call every play if you wanted to, and it slows the game down. But baseball and umpire, when you make a call, everybody there is going to know.
Even basketball, there's noise.
Right.
You're close, but in baseball, if a ball is not hit or somebody. It's usually pretty quiet,
right.
And then all of a sudden,
it's not one of those sports where there's a lot of action away from the ball. If you follow the ball, that's where it's going to be, and an umpire's right there to do it. So it's not an easy thing, and it's a thankless job. Who wants to get ragged on? 2 hours out of their night and get paid. I don't know what they get paid, but anyway, I was very proud of the way our kids kept battling back because we laughed about it earlier, but I don't know, when I was 16, 17 years old, if I'd probably been in the dugout. But
you'd been on your way home.
I probably would.
And playing 3 games in 2 days, when you had been used to playing one game in about 4 days, had to take a toll on those young men. But we're very proud of them, and by no means we're saying that the umpires cost us
Oh,
this
no, no,
tournament.
no, no.
You know, we're just saying that we thought we had our chances to win, just like anyone else. We just happened to come up on the short end, and you know, it seemed like we played every private school.
We did.
Every school we played in that tournament, they were a private school, and we know what goes on at private schools.
We did.
And you know, they have a selection of players that they can get, and but we're very proud of our young men, and we're proud of you, Bradley, and we want to wish you the best of luck going into the district baseball tournament here in a couple of weeks, and I know that WPKY will be having full coverage of it, as well as the girls softball, and you know, we just want to wish you the best of luck.
Well, thank you, and thanks for having us. And I'd like to say thank you, to the radio station for allowing, Mr. Hayes and Jordan to go up there and bring the support back home. I've heard, Miss Finesta said that, little Roy was out on the golf course. I guess, his foursome or eightsome or whoever they play with is out there on a Sunday afternoon, watching
and someone
the game
was
as
in the
everything
airport watching it.
Yeah,
I mean,
we had some great sponsors that allowed them to make that
Right.
trip too.
Exactly.
That was
We
extra,
want to
so
thank the
thank
sponsors
them, yeah.
especially.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's good.
they allowed them to make that trip, and it was an overnight deal for Jordan. So
And
appreciate
without
the
those
support of that.
sponsors,
That's
we wouldn't
correct.
be carrying that.
I don't have the list here in front of me, but we will give them their due because that's what makes it all work.
Right.
Please do, and the people back home, just keep encouraging the boys as you have been all year, and it's been awesome to watch the outpouring of love and care for the boys that we have. So, we'd like to say thank you, as their coach. Thank you to this community again. It's special for a boy from Caldwell County to watch the love of that surrounds his kids when he becomes the coach, and I know you all have experienced that as well, and it's just awesome to watch. So I'd like to just say thank you to the community for that. So.
Oh, good. Thank you for saying that. That was a great comment.
We appreciate you, Bradley, and we know you got to get back to the senior walk.
That's Senior Walk and Awards Day. Exciting day at the high
You're
school.
going to be passing out numerous social studies
Oh,
awards.
yeah. Yes.
So
yes.
that's always an exciting time. And someone else I want to give a shout out to, Christy Phelps.
Yes.
And we want to thank her from the bottom of our heart to allow you and those coaches from the high school to come out and share this time with us. And we couldn't do it without her support.
That's right.
And we appreciate Christy.
Yes, she's awesome to work for. She supports our kids as well as the teachers, and she's very, very helpful and very beneficial to work for. So yes.
We thank you, Bradley.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Bradley Stallings, the head baseball coach at Caldwell County High School. We're going to take another short break, and DT and I are going to come back and discuss some more topics on the local scene. You're listening to Tiger Sports Talk on 103.3 FM, The Tiger.
New car and truck buyers, listen up. It's the time of year that the 16s are rolling out and the 17s are rolling in. At Trice Hughes Incorporated, we offer 7 new American car lines to choose from, awesome trade-in allowances, end-of-the-year model rebates, and great financing options. Some people think they have to go out of town for a great deal. We think shopping in Princeton, Kentucky at Trice Hughes Incorporated might just be the best decision you ever make. Give Trice a try before you buy. And as always, if we don't have what you're looking for on our lot, we'll find it for you. Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton. You've heard about OnStar, but have you heard about the new Remote Link app available for your smartphone? Now on most all GM vehicles that are equipped with OnStar, you can lock and unlock your vehicle from your phone. You can start your vehicle remotely from anywhere, and you can check diagnostics while browsing your phone. So let's get this straight. You can be out of town, but your vehicle is at home, and your daughter needs her ball bat in the back seat, and you have the keys in your purse. Panic? No way. Just unlock your vehicle from your phone, and voila, happy teenager. Stop by Trice Hughes in Princeton for info and setup. Let's talk OnStar. Most GM vehicles, maybe even yours, are now equipped with OnStar. The benefits of OnStar are immeasurable when it comes to saving your life and the lives of your loved ones, helping locate your vehicle in the event that you can't, and navigating you when you are lost. OnStar offers automatic crash response that sends emergency responders to your location even if you can't speak. Stolen vehicle assistance will locate your vehicle immediately in the unfortunate case in which someone mistakes your vehicle for theirs. Turn-by-turn navigation is available to take you anywhere you want to go with the push of one blue button. And you can always stay connected when you activate OnStar 4G LTE and Wi-Fi hotspot on select vehicles. OnStar keeps you informed on your vehicle diagnostics and can even diagnose a problem as you are driving down the road. Activate OnStar on your eligible 2011 model year or newer vehicle today and get 3 months free plus 3 years free of their basic plan. Stop in Trice Hughes Incorporated today for details or assistance on your OnStar activation. Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton.
Back here at 103.3 FM, the Tiger, with Tiger Sports Talk with Gator and DT. We've been talking to this morning in our first segment, Bradley Stallings and Luther Bramlett. Now it's me and DT. They got to put up with us. But there's a lot of things going on here, as we said, in the community, athletic-wise, and a lot of things that's transpired this week. We want to update all of our folks out there, especially we hadn't said a lot about our ladies softball team. Once again, the weather's probably won out on a lot of their games as well. I believe they've gone 1-1 on this week. They defeated Crittenden County, I believe, on Tuesday, and yesterday they had a hard-fought loss to our rival down here at Lyon County, I believe, in extra innings and got beat down there. But they're doing a terrific job, and what a turnaround on that program, Dennis.
Yes, and I'm sitting here watching him eat that donut, so I didn't really listen to you.
Well,
Keep going. You got your notes going.
We were talking about the ladies softball team, and they're doing an outstanding job, and I believe they're going to be our number 2 seed here in 2 weeks in the district tournament. So we want to keep wishing them the best of luck. And also, we want to give a shout out to our Caldwell County Middle School girls soccer team, and under the direction of Eric Jacobs. We thought we was going to have Eric here in the studio, but at the high school, as we mentioned, there's a lot going on, and he was unable to come in this morning. But they were district runners-up. They beat the number 1 seed, I believe, in the district in a shootout, and that was an outstanding accomplishment. And I believe didn't they go, Jordan, or Ty in the regionals? And
yeah, they lost. They've had to play Grays and fell in the district championship, but then they got to go to the regionals, fell to Heath 2-0.
Okay,
so that's as far I think they've advanced. This is 4 years in.
Exactly, and
that's great.
They've done a great
starting
job.
A program. I mean, my goodness.
And how long the program hadn't been in
3 years? I think.
This is their third or 4th year.
Yeah,
3rd or 4th year. Just an outstanding job, and we want to congratulate them. And
that
Coach,
says a lot to the kids. Working awful hard, I tell you.
It sure does. It says a whole lot. And we also want to bring up our boys and girls tennis teams. What a outstanding performance that they made at the regional tournament. And we were talking earlier, Ty, before we went on the air, that we was not region champs in either the boys or girls, but both our boys and girls number 1 singles and doubles teams won the region.
They swept it.
They swept it.
But how they do the countbacks and the scoring, they don't. They're not the regional champions. But we won in boys singles, girls singles, and boys and girls doubles. Won all those, the championship in all those.
What an outstanding job. And we want to bring up those winners and give them some accolades here. In the girls singles, Belle Engelbright.
That's my niece.
That's your niece. Yep. Congratulations to Belle. Yep. And the doubles in the girls were Chasey Phelps and Hannah Dixon.
Yeah.
I think
Chasey's Christy's daughter.
Mm-hmm. So
and Hannah is Alan Dixon, the manager of Walmart's daughter.
Okay. Congratulations to those 2 young ladies. And on the boys' side, we had Ben Knight as the singles winner of the region. And the boys' doubles was Warren Forsythe and Dalton Embry.
That's right. And you notice those Hannah Dixon and Dalton Embry are in the same family.
Yeah.
So they're both Alan Dixons and Tina's. So and they're in that same family. So that's kind of unique. You had a brother-sister win the doubles. And I think this is the first time ever, from what I understand, that we've clean swept the second region in all those categories. So that's pretty great year for them.
That's really good. And I believe I read in the New Era, if I'm not mistaken, did Hopkinsville win?
I think so.
Both the boys and girls?
I believe so. And again, it's just how they scored the thing.
But we want to send our congratulations out to our young men and the young women on their great performances. And also, I noticed that the boys double, Storm Cochran and Will Taylor, I know it's the first year that Will has played
Right.
tennis.
And they had a great
They
run.
upset the number 1 seeds,
Yeah.
didn't they, in the doubles?
That might have been the case. Not sure about that, but I think you might be right. I don't have the brackets in front of me. And also, Adam Redfern
I can
played
call
some good
Dixon.
matches.
He
Yeah.
can tell.
Yeah, Dixon. Yeah.
That's
But yeah, I think you're right. You're probably right about that.
right. And of course, Storm is the son of Chris Cochran,
Right.
who played for DT and I, and DT's been one of his good friends growing up in high school. Danny Cochran.
Danny, that's right.
So our congratulations go out to them.
And kudos to Coach Farmer and Raymond Janina, too. They have just done a fantastic job with that team.
They have.
She said it was going to happen when we had her on earlier in the year. She said, we've got a good team, and if we keep it going, everything's going to work out. And evidently she knew what she was talking about.
Yeah. And we also, DT and I, want to give a shout out to Bruce Farmer.
Yes.
You know, he lost his dad on Wednesday, Charlie, and what a great man. And,
Very nice man.
I know they're going through some difficult times there, and we just, you know, want to send all of our prayers to their families, and you know, we lost a great man.
Right. And I think the visitation is what, today, 4 to 8?
I think 4 to 8, and the funeral's
tomorrow at 11 o'clock.
And of course, Bruce works for the school system, and Kim both.
Right.
Kim's our head boys and girls tennis coach, and you know, they just do a great job. And
Charlie was a fine man. I tell you, he played golf with my son and I when Wes was barely old enough
In
to
the
get in the
Father's
golf
Day.
cart in the Father's Son tournament or Father's Day, whatever it was. And but he was very nice to us and very nice to Wes, and we missing a good man.
we sure are. Some other things that going on this week that we're going to talk about here a little bit. The KHSA Board of Control met on Wednesday, and they made some pretty major decisions. Probably the top decision that they've made, they're going to move the state football finals from Western Kentucky University and in Bowling Green to used to be Commonwealth Stadium. Now we got to call it Kroger Field at the University of Kentucky. So they're going to move those for the next 2 years, 2017 and 18, I believe. And you know, that's going to be a big impact on things that we've been accustomed to. What's your feelings on that, Dick?
I don't know what to say about it, really. I just think
We've been going
I
to
like
Bowling
it.
Green.
Well, it's because it's closer for
Right.
us, and a lot of those people up that way sure think it's better, I'm sure. But honestly, when you split the state from Fulton all the way up, Bowling Green was really more of a median, wasn't it? Or not? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe if they had a team in,
I think they say Lebanon.
if they had.
They put in the paper that Lebanon was the central location in the state of
And
Kentucky.
where's that?
That's up where past
Yeah.
Campbellsville,
Campbellsville,
up
right
in that area. So
If they had a stadium in E-Town, I guess that'd be the best. I don't know.
Close.
Somewhere in that area.
I tell you what, though, and we talked about this off air. There was nothing like that experience over there in Bowling
No.
Green when the whole town was over there and you're packed in on that side. And man,
exactly.
boy, I mean, you could feel
and the weather, the way
togetherness,
it's
couldn't you?
yeah,
And it'll be different at
Yeah.
Kentucky
it's going to be
Stadium.
different. It's, you know, of course, a smaller stadium, but you know, you can hear they're closer to the field, and you know, just the setting
Yeah.
to me was a perfect spot there in Bowling Green in that
Agreed.
size stadium.
Yeah.
But I can understand Westerns had a lot of success in football in their conference and Conference USA, and they've had to work their schedule
There were some
around.
conflicts last year.
There
wasn't
were some
Yeah.
conflicts, and you know, I think a lot of the people really didn't want them playing on Sundays, and I think they had to play 3 games
I believe that's right.
last Sunday. So that interferes with a lot of the churches, and you know, so I can understand.
So they not have church in Lexington?
Well, they won't
I mean,
have.
what's the deal?
Well, they won't have UK will not be playing football in Kroger Field
Oh.
during that time. SEC's over,
Right.
and they play their championship in Atlanta, Georgia.
That's right.
Whereas Conference USA, whoever the champion is,
They got to play at their home field.
they have to play at their home field. So they had to work around. Of course, we know how important money in television is, and the KHSAA had to work their schedule around Westerns. But we can almost say it's because of the success of the Western Kentucky football team that they had to move
pushed
that.
it out.
Yeah,
That's a good thing.
So, and they also voted on some other issues, moving the girls' state tournament they're going to be playing next year at Northern Kentucky University like they did this year. But the year after, they're moving it to Rupp Arena. And I don't think they've ever played a girls' state tournament in Rupp Arena.
Well, that'd be a big deal for them. That's, for the girls, to play in a big place like that.
And also, I don't think it's going to happen until 2020. They're going to move the boys' state tournament, the dates on the boys' state tournament. So they're in the process of studying on the scheduling. There's been a lot of talk. Are they going to move the basketball schedule back, start earlier? Because I think it's the first weekend in March is when the boys' state tournament will be played. The girls will be played right after that, which has always, I think, been the same. So actually, the boys' state tournament's going to be played 2 weeks earlier than normal. And, they're studying the scheduling and so forth. And I was listening to Jeff Sisk and yesterday morning at WHOP, and they said and that's going to probably conflict some with high school football, in the playoffs. And as long as they don't play on Friday night, I think that's the major concern right now is keeping it away from Friday nights until the football season is over. But it looks like the basketball season is going to be moved up.
One other thing, we were on girls softball a while ago, and we didn't stay on it very long, but one thing I wanted to mention was I can throw my little quirk in here for myself, too. Saturday and Sunday of last week, Kenny Maloney and myself sealed and then striped on Sunday the little area in the middle out at the VFW ballpark.
Okay.
And David Choate and his crew was out there moving all the tarp off of it on Saturday. All of his players, they were doing all that, and they practiced. And then again, we went out Sunday to stripe it, and here he was out there again, and they were practicing. And I asked him, I said, I thought you'd have a day off. He said, you know better than that. As a coach, you know better than that. So they were there Saturday and Sunday, not only working but practicing both days, and that says a lot for those people in the program. And I honestly didn't know his assistant coach's name, and I apologize for that, but they were all there working hard.
And, going back to the softball, that they had their senior day on last Tuesday against Crittenden County, and, of course, they honored Chandra Litchfield. She's the only senior on the girls softball team, so things are looking up for our girls softball program, and we're excited about that. And as you were mentioning that, I think you have a guest coming in next week possibly to talk a little bit more about our youth leagues and
Yes.
if he's going to be able, Dwight Meeks.
Yeah, you shouldn't have told that.
Oh.
Now nobody will listen. Boxy, he's
Well,
ready.
hey, he
now,
was
though.
in Chips Off the Old Block this week.
Yeah, I know. I saw
and
his picture.
maybe
in
he'd
there
give
on
us
the
a
ground.
rundown on his yoga experience.
Yeah,
or,
he's in real good shape. You can tell that.
I know Stan Hudson and Chip Hutchison put him to shame on his workout.
He likes to listen to the village people when he works out.
Oh,
for
he
us.
does?
Well, he's
Yeah.
probably one of them.
And that was a really cute picture of him in the paper with that number 1 on it,
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll be able to get Dwight in here and talk a little
He's the
bit.
one that makes the C sign.
There you go. And Steve, I believe you had Steve Kukahiko on talking about City County Park and things that are going on around there.
Park's going to open on the 27th. They're having this weekend a early bird special if you want to get a pass or buy tickets and meet the staff, and that will be this Saturday
Good.
out at the park.
Good deal.
And another local team that we hadn't really talked a lot about, we don't know much about, is our track team, our boys and girls track team. And I don't know if we have a full track team or not, but I know the regionals are coming up I saw in the paper, for track meets. So we want to wish any of those that are participating the best of luck
Sure.
as well.
Sure
That's a tough sport. You're running all by yourself out there.
As you can tell, there's a lot going on
A
here
whole
in
lot.
Princeton and Caldwell County. And, once again, we want to thank all of our sponsors, the radio station, everyone that has tuned in to us each and every week. And, we were talking with Joe the other day, going to the golf tournament, that he's mentioned, how much longer are you going to do this, boys? And I said, well, we thought we'd go, nearly to the end of May, and when the spring sports season wraps up, and if we're fortunate enough that WPKY have us back in the fall, we want to come back with a bigger and better show, and we're still looking for people. If anyone out there wants to call the radio station and recommend someone for us to interview, please do so. Don't wait until Friday morning. It kind of throws us off. DT and I like to prepare on Thursday.
It doesn't have to be necessarily sports.
No.
Just somebody in Princeton you think might want to, that we want to give a little time to. It's fine. I mean, now you might have to come and interview them, but we'll
we won't exactly. You know, it's like you know, we were going to try to have some of the tennis players on today and the regionals, and of course, you could probably put in a hat what we know about tennis, and you know, and of course, with so much going on out to schools, it's impossible to get on today. And we want to apologize to any of those parents out there that called in, and you know, we want to wish them the best of luck. Is it next week, the state?
Yes, and all those kids there, will go to state and play. So I think it starts Thursday.
Starts Thursday, and of course, another conflict with graduation, and hopefully, class night will be out of the way, and graduation's on Friday, next Friday.
Yeah.
Baccalaureate, I saw, is this coming Sunday.
Yeah,
and,
that's coming up.
And
Sunday,
Baxter
right.
Boyd is going
Yes.
to be the guest speaker there, so we want to encourage everyone to go out and attend baccalaureate services.
And class night Tuesday
and
night.
class night. Worked at the high school for years, 22 years, I guess. And, of course, I was a counselor, and I had to attend all those, and I wanted to, but the attendance at baccalaureate and class night is not real good. And we want to get more people to come out. It's amazing the amount of money in scholarships, especially on class night, that's given to our local seniors. And we want
Those kids have worked hard.
They work hard academically and as well as athletically, and you want to, you brought up Carla Martin.
Yes.
She's going to be given a scholarship
right.
in memory of her daughter, Leah, to a basketball player. And what a nice gesture.
Right.
And, some lucky young lady on that basketball team is going to receive some money to go and further their education. So, we
were going to have Dwight on this week, but he couldn't come. Now I know why, and I'm glad. I'm glad you told me, because he's not going to graduate again this year. On Friday, he can come this week, Friday. He's been working on it for years.
Oh, Lord. Well, and again, we want to wish those seniors the best of luck. It's an exciting, this is their last full day at Caldwell County High School. And,
How fast will that go?
Oh, it'll go fast. And let me tell you, we just had our 40-year reunion last year, and there was people that I ran into, I went to school with, and how people change. And,
That's what they were
and
saying
a lot
when
of
they looking at you.
And, once they walk through that line a week from tonight, then a lot of them won't see those seniors again until, a 10-year reunion or so. So they need to make the best of it. I know they probably have a senior trip planned, and, we want to wish them safe endeavors on that. Yeah. And we don't want to end the show, though, without saying something about Mother's Day coming up this Sunday. And, mothers are very special, Dennis, as well as you and I know. And I had my mother for 86 years, and, there's no feeling like it.
No, it's mine's been gone for a while, and Janie's mom is still here, so I kind of take her as my mom. So.
And mine as well. My wife has done amazing things. I'll just put it at that. And, we love her so much, and I don't know what I'd do without her. And like most people out here, some of the things that you don't see taken care of, and those mothers are very special.
And just in these sports, what these moms do for these kids out here, these traveling teams, all the high schools. I mean, they're fans, they're supporters, they're just everything. So, I mean, you just can't say enough about these moms and what it means to have a mom.
When I went to school, my family moved to Missouri, and when I went to Western that year, they moved to Missouri, and I didn't have anybody around at all to stay with, and about 3 people that took care of me. I tell you, Raymond Janina's mother, she's gone too, but then Randy Durrell's mama, Miss Sidney Wood. I want to say hello, Mom, to you, and to Dennis Kirk's mom, who was nice enough to let me stay with them. So, Odie Palm. So, I want to just say that while I got a chance.
There's a lot of mothers out there, and, we can't do it. Us men can't do it without them moms. And I've mentioned this before, that my coaching duties really took me away from my children participating in cheerleading events and so forth, and I didn't get to attend all of those. And I always said that once I started having grandchildren, I was going to attend those, and I've got 6 of them. I'm really, my schedule is full.
Now you're stretched.
My schedule is full.
Sheila, you heard that. He's got to go to Florida with you. He's already going now.
Well, you know, I wouldn't take anything for her, and I mean, I tell you, we're very blessed. We're very blessed, and once again, we want to wish all you mothers out there on Sunday a very happy Mother's Day.
Thank you, and appreciate the day again, Ty.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Once again, you've been listening to Tiger Sports Talk with Gator and DT on 103.3 FM, The Tiger. Tune in again next week for another exciting show. So long.